Hello, Level 8 students. This video is to explain how to record your research in your One World journal for your One World project. So it's time to start looking for evidence to support your claim or your counterclaim. And in a previous lesson, we talked about types of evidence and how to make sure your evidence was credible and relevant. And then we also talked about where to find some good sources, such as on Newsela or the DC Public Library website or the One World Research Portal. So once you find evidence, you need a system to record it. So that's where your research log comes in. So I'm in the One World Journal on page 22. And here is an example of a research log. You can see up here, the first part is the source. The source is where your information came from. And you need some different parts to make sure you have everything, such as the name of the author, the person who wrote the article, the title of the article, the date it was published, the website or publisher, that could be a newspaper. So in this example, we have the name of the writer is Dawn Lee. A New Dawn for the Minimum Wage is the title of the article. This is the date the article was published. And then this is the publisher, Los Angeles Times. That's the newspaper that published the article. And then here is the URL. So this is the link to the website where you could find the article. So all of this information is important because you might need to go back to the article and check something, so you want to be able to find it later. You will also need all of this information when you write your essay, because you'll have to create a works cited list. That's a list of all your sources, and we'll help you do that in a few weeks. All right, the next part of the research log is the main idea of the article. This can just be a short sentence. What was the article generally about? The next part is your evidence. Remember, evidence could be an expert quote, data or statistic, fact, or personal story. So this is part of the article that is relevant to your claim. So in this situation, this example, this is a statistic. Almost 60% of workers who are paid on an hourly basis currently make less than $15 an hour. If the minimum wage went up to $15 tomorrow, nearly half of those workers would get at least a 50% pay bump. So this is a statistic that supports a claim, probably about how the minimum wage should be increased to $15. And you can see here there's quotation marks at the beginning and at the end. That's because this part, these two sentences, came directly from the article. So the evidence is being copied exactly the same way that it was written in the article. And if you're writing your essay, you'll be able to use these sentences with quotation marks or paraphrase them, put them in your own words. And we'll talk more about that later. So for now, you're looking at what is the source of the article, what's the main idea of the article, and what evidence is in the article that supports your claim. The other thing that we want to do is think about the connection between your evidence and your claim. This is called the warrant. So this part is in your own words. You have to explain why you chose this evidence. How does it connect to your topic, to your claim? So you can see here in the example, I chose this evidence to prove how many people would benefit from a higher minimum wage. And then the last part is maybe from reading the article, you have some new questions about your source, about your topic. So you have some space here to write new questions. I would say the most important parts of the research log are the source, the evidence, and the warrant. So please be careful when you're filling out those 3 parts. Down here, you have space to write your own sources. You can put the date where you found it. And you have space for 4, source 2, source 3, and source 4. Of course, if you have more sources that you want to find or use, you can write them on another piece of paper. So for this week, we would like you to complete 2 sources, source 1 and source 2.